Yes? Sharon. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Modesto's live streaming service. We're delighted to have you join us this morning, and we're going to start with music. A little slower. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll provide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth and the stars and all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light at me as you, so use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, needing us to shine its light as me, as you, so use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Thank you. And we are so delighted to have our music back. Yay! Welcome to Unity of Modesto. And I'd like to share just a little prayer of faith before we say the Lord's Prayer. I really like this by Hannah Moore Kohas. God is my help in every need. God does my every hunger feed. God walks beside me, guides my way through every moment of the day. I now am wise, I now am true, patient, kind, and loving too. All things I am, can do, and be through Christ, the truth that is in me. God is my health. I can't be sick. God is my strength, unfailing, quick. God is my all. I know no fear, since God and love and truth are here. I keep thinking that's perfect for this day and time. And now if you'll join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. And now a few announcements. I think it's just a small book here. We have created a newsletter which was sent out by email. It's also being mailed out by snail mail for those of you that don't have a computer. Now, if you think that we need to update your information, please leave a message with the church. The phone number is 209-578-5433, or send a note to Unity of Modesto, 2467 Veneman, V for Veneman Avenue, Modesto, and the zip is 95356. We have some office hours now. They're abbreviated, but Jackie has come forward and will be here Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10:30 to 12:30. If you want to come in and drop something off or pick something up, that is possible. Jackie's volunteering, and we thank you, Jackie. We love you for it. You may also drop off recycling at the church, and it will be picked up and turned in, or you can turn it in yourself and send in the money, the results. This is one of our ways of easily supporting the church, and it also supports our environment at the same time. If you're shopping more on Amazon, staying home and shopping on the computer, please remember to use the smile for Unity of Modesto. When you first go into Amazon, up in the upper left-hand corner, it says smile, and you could click on that and just type in Unity of Modesto. And once you've done that, then the next time you go to order something, it prompts you to use the smile. So smile and think of the church. You may email your prayer requests on the church website, or you may mail them in, and we will add them to the virtual prayer box, which our prayer team receives the list, and we pray on those requests for 30 days, and then they're forwarded on to Silent Unity. So please remember to keep this church, your family, friends, the world, and vaccine development in your prayers. Our food pantry has been used quite a bit during this time of challenges. If you want to contribute to that, you may drop off a few non-perishable items by the fellowship door or the back door for Joni and Donna, or at the church office Tuesday and Thursday, 10:30 to 12:30. And right at the moment, Joni told me we're in need of dry beans and rice. And I heard last night on the news that rice farmers all over the world, I guess, are planting a lot more rice because that's been found to be easily transportable. You can keep it in your house if you're not shopping very often, and there's lots of good ways to cook it. We plan to have a church yard sale in mid-September, and we're able to accept your donations from all that quarantine cleaning, your house, your garage, the yard, whatever, and store them in Fellowship Hall. So you could bring them in anytime. Just leave a message with the church, 578-5433, and set up a time, and Joni will open the Fellowship Hall. So you can just go in, leave them off. And if you can help us set up, we plan to do the setting up on Wednesday the 9th, and if we need to, Thursday the 10th of September. And we'll be setting up from 9 in the morning till 12 or 1. We'll have to see what it takes, how many people we get in to have some fun. And then we will be selling on Friday the 11th and Saturday the 12th from 8 in the morning until 2. And that's when we cut off. We don't go all day. So if you can assist for any of these times, even a couple hours, that would be great. We would really appreciate it. It gives other people a break. And it's really kind of fun because while we're sitting there selling things and raising money for the church, we visit. We will be wearing masks. We will have a number of things outside. We're going to set up a one-way aisle walkway and have our social distancing. So we will be observing all the regulations that continue to keep us safe. This is a great way to get out of the house. If you're feeling housebound, why figure on coming in September and helping us. So mark your calendar and please tell your friends and neighbors. It's September. We're going to be setting up on Wednesday, possibly Thursday, September 9th and 10th, and then selling on Friday and Saturday. That's the 11th and the 12th. Figure right in the middle of September, and we're just going to know that it's a little cooler by then. It's going to be a really good time. Okay, the daily word for today is appreciation. I am grateful for the good in my life. Today, I take time to appreciate the abundance that surrounds me. I notice the beauty of the natural world, the talent and dedication behind the music, thank you, and art that I enjoy, and the skill and commitment of the people who work to maintain a safe and orderly world. Think of the caretakers. The more I focus my attention on everything I have to appreciate in my life, the more I notice even more blessings. I am eager to share the gift of appreciation. So I give my full attention to someone I care about as we share a meal or a favorite activity or simply a quiet moment together. Feeling grateful for my life's blessings, I feel renewed appreciation for the love and beauty that enriches my life. And from Luke 10:23, then, turning to the disciples, Jesus said to them privately, "Blessed are the eyes that see what you see." This is our prayer box that we usually keep in the back of the sanctuary. And so now we have a virtual prayer box. Send in an email or a written request. And whether it's this box or the website, we're going to know that there's only one power and one presence operating in, through, and around all of us, and whoever name has been placed in here. And situations, events, we bless and pray for all of them. Anything that comes to your mind, write it down, put it into a prayer. And know that that power of God and love and healing is operating through that person and event and blessing it with healing. And so it is. Amen. I have a July affirmation, and I don't know what it is. It's a secret. Yes. Okay. So let's have some music, and then we're going to have a time of meditation. So wherever you are, get really comfortable, feet flat on the floor, set aside anything that's distracting you, lock the pets out of the room, whatever it takes, and join us in a relaxing and healing consciousness of meditation.
God, help me to empty my mind of every earthly distraction, so that I may that I may only worship you. God, help me to empty my heart of every false separation, so that I may only worship you. You are my mind, you are my heart, you are my life's only reason. So I let go of all the false gods that I've known. It's you I believe in. God, help me to empty my life of every human illusion, so that I may only worship you. You are my mind, you are my heart, you are my life's only reason. Let me let go of all the false gods that I've known. It's you I believe in. God, help me to fill up my soul with ever deeper devotion, so that I may only worship you, so that I may only worship you.
Thank you. Now let's join and know that there's only one universal mind. That as we relax and let go of outside distractions, outside the home or out there in the world, just let them go. They'll be there later for you to pick up. And let's turn within to that sanctuary within us, where we're in touch with the Spirit, the Christ self that is in us, that guides us, that supports us, and that sees us through everything that life brings. And let's go back and think about that thought from the daily word of appreciation. Because the more we appreciate things, the greater they are. The more we're aware of how much there is in life to appreciate. So let's relax and think about our homes, our families, our yards, the beauty of nature. Let us appreciate all the people in the world that do service for us and others, and appreciate everything that's given. God gives us through them and their service to us. And let us put the question out, where can I serve? And where can I show more appreciation? As we think of one thing, let it lead us to another. So our lives may be filled with one moment of appreciation. leading to another. Let us feel monumental gratitude and make a commitment to ourselves to continue to be appreciative throughout this coming week. And then let us keep that thought and feeling in our hearts as we bring ourselves back for a lesson in imagination. Did you ever get scolded for daydreaming? I know I did. And now I know I was using my imagination, one of those 12 powers that Fillmore taught about, and a faculty that's been used for eons to aid us in creating our lives. Jill touched on those last week, and if you missed that wonderful lesson, you can find it on YouTube. Go looking. Dreaming, using our imagination of one type or another, has been written of in the Bible. One of our familiar stories is of Joseph, who used dreams and dream interpretation to rise above the many challenges thrown at him. Rather than let himself get mired in life's difficulties, he rose above them to triumph. We might look at his life and tell ourselves that problems are life's way of asking us for an answer, and develop an ability to dream big. Joseph is in a line of powerful patriarchs in Genesis, which is full of fascinating stories. If you like novels that are a little bit racy, delve into Genesis sometime. The patriarchal line is, simply put, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Each has long, convoluted stories that have you wonder that they ever came into being. And they change their names sometimes, which can create a challenge for figuring out who did what. In the Bible, a name change reflects a change in the nature of a person. The name Jacob represents the mental versus his twin brother Esau, who represented the physical body. Jacob also represents the I am power of understanding that represents spirit and attempts to reconcile human man with his spiritual essence and God, the highest power, essentially bringing together our different aspects, lives, our different personal expressions. When Jacob had a name change, his new name, Israel, represents his efforts, like wrestling with the angel, to bring up his divine inner nature to work with his mental. The results are a higher expression of God, blessing him with inner life strength, both spiritual and material. For today, I will retain the name Jacob for clarity. Jacob lived in Canaan, which represents the subconscious receptivity, humbleness, and unlimited elemental forces, all of which we need to use in our dreams to create our goals and achievements. Jacob had 12 sons and 2 wives and 2 concubines. All the children and wives represent accumulations of the mind, thoughts, attitudes, concerns. And with all that activity, I suspect there were some daughters too. But back in those strongly patriarchal times, women weren't counted. I'd like to bring some of those guys forward in time to today, would you? The youngest son of Jacob was Joseph, who in the Bible means disciplined or controlled imagination, sort of planning your daydreams. Imagination is one of the primal faculties of mind and has the power to project and clothe your ideas, giving them visibility in the screens of your mind. Jacob loved Joseph. We're told that Jacob loved Joseph more than all his brethren. This tells us that imagination, spiritualized, controlled, and directed, becomes the most exalted and noblest attribute we have. We put it above others. Joseph is called Jacob's son of his old age. Son means expression. Old age implies wisdom and knowledge of the laws of mind. When we become familiar with the power of imagination, we call it the son of our old age. Age is not just the flight of years. It is really the dawn of wisdom and divine knowledge in us. Our imagination is the mighty instrument used by scientists, artists, architects, mystics, and good cooks. Joseph, as the youngest in the family, indicating that perhaps that's one of the last powers that we discover, gets spoiled by Jacob and receives a coat of many colors. I have one. And when I thought about that description and considered what had to happen to produce clothing back then, weaving patterns or different colors right into the cloth, like in this jacket. And then I had another thought. A quilt. Perhaps his jacket was quilted, colorful, using lots of different pieces and requiring a lot of time and effort to produce. Another description of Joseph's coat is simply a long robe with sleeves. Now, that was a bit unusual. A lot of them they did without sleeves, because long robe with sleeves represents more material, more time, more effort. And it all represented a very special attention and love. From the spiritual mental combination that is Jacob came Joseph, the imagination, the dreamer. We use our thoughts and feelings to develop our dreams. Joseph, as our imagination, wears a coat of many colors. A coat in the Bible is psychological covering. Our psychological garments are our mental attitudes, moods, and the feelings that we entertain. The coat of many colors represents the many facets of the diamond, or our capacity to clothe any idea in form. We can use our imagination to see any outcome for a situation, any healing, success, or disaster. How quickly do we sometimes imagine a big problem, a pandemic of an illness, for instance, with a swift picturing of a modern plague. When they talk about on the news the virus, do you picture medieval times, where they had the horse pulling the cart full of a bunch of dead bodies? Well, instead of thinking like that, use your same imagination and power to think about healing, think about vaccines. How are they going to be developed, and how are they going to be distributed? Creating all these details is using your imagination. So are we going to line up in a long line, everybody go get poked on the arm, or a long line of cars? Think about the social distancing. So we're all driving along in the car. Think about all these details. This is using your imagination. Drive up, down with the window, stick your arm out, get your vaccine. Think about that instead of worrying. Our imagination is a coat of many colors. It clothes, it objectifies, it fleshes out our ideas and our desires. We can imagine abundance where there is lack, peace where there is discord. Think of the hospitals and how they're operating. Use your imagination to picture those hospitals operating in harmony, in coordination, methodically, sharing information, high efficiency. And we can imagine health and strength where there is illness. Think about the plasma donations and how they're developing those. I heard a story about an artificial immunity, artificial antibodies that are being worked on. All sorts of things. These scientists are using their Joseph imagination. We can join them and support them by thinking of the positive possibilities. Joseph is a dreamer and a dreamer of dreams. This means he had vision, images, and ideals in his mind, and he knows there is a creative power that responds to his mental images. The mental images that we hold not just fly by, but the ones that we hold are developed in feeling. And then all our senses come into play to modify, correct, clarify, and give power to the thoughts. Think of a camera that took a picture, and then, this is going to tell you how old I am, okay? In an old-fashioned process, think about the film going through the developing fluids. For you young people, there used to be a method like that. But you would take a picture, we have a picture in our mind, and then we want to develop it. So we're putting it through one thought alignment and another. In those fluids, I suspect, this fluid brought out the red and this one brought out the green, whatever. But there's a process, and we can use our imagination. So Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more. They already resented and were jealous of the extra attention and love that their father Jacob was showering on Joseph. And when Joseph told them of his dream, that he dreamed they were all out in the fields binding sheaves, and lo, my sheaf arose and stood upright, and behold, your sheaves gathered round and bowed down to my sheaf. Joseph had a second dream that he also shared with his brothers before they clobbered him. And reading the story, I almost want to yell at him to shut up, you're making it worse. His second dream was that the sun and the moon and 11 stars made obeisance to me. In ancient symbology, the sun and the moon represent the conscious and the subconscious mind. The 11 stars represent the 11 powers in addition to imagination. Here again, we're told that disciplined imagination takes precedence over all the faculties of the mind and controls the direction of the conscious and subconscious mind. Imagination is first and foremost. Now, this really set off his brothers. They were incensed that they should be told to bow down to the spoiled baby brother. For us, we can read that we want to lift our ideal or desire in consciousness. We want to exalt it, commit ourselves to it wholeheartedly, praise it, raise it up, give it attention, love, and devotion. Love that vaccine. Love the method by which it's given to us. Love and raise up and praise having tons of antibodies. And as we do that, any fear thoughts of why we cannot be successful are bowed down. This is a tip for us in achieving dreams successfully. But the brothers didn't hear it that way. They were fed up, and they plotted to get rid of Joseph. His brothers asked, "Shalt thou indeed reign over us?" And when we look at our 12 faculties and powers, imagination takes precedence over so many other elements. When imagination is disciplined, it enables us to rise above limitations and fears. When Joseph went out in the field later to find his brothers, they were out with flocks of sheep grumbling about the baby brother. They saw him coming, and they said to each other, behold, the dreamer cometh. Not in a good way either. And they started talking about all the ways they could kill him. Now, this seems a bit harsh, but look at Joseph as a dream, a goal, something you want to achieve or learn. Have you ever conspired against your dream with negative thoughts? What about, I can't afford it. I'm too old. No one ever succeeded at that. What would my family think? Fears, doubts, and anxieties kill our wonderful imaginative dream. What thoughts have you ever had that were killers of a dream? This is one of the reasons that we're told to be careful who you share your dreams with. You don't want somebody else shooting it down. Ultimately, the brothers seized Joseph, tossed him in a pit, and then sold him to a passing caravan on its way to Egypt. The phrase, Joseph is sold into Egypt, means our concept or desire must be subjectified, sent to Egypt first, before it can become objectified. Every idea, desire, goal, concept must go down into our subconscious mind to develop, strengthen, and give birth to results. We mull it over. We sleep on it. We meditate about it. We let it process. And the process for Joseph was to go to Egypt, be sold, and be put to work, becoming the overseer, foreman, manager, ruling over other servants. Joseph, as the commander of a household, and then ultimately Egypt itself, tells us that imagination controls the conceptive realm. Joseph spent time in prison, just as we do when we allow ourselves to develop a prison of fear, sickness, lack, or limitation of any kind. Joseph rose to be a commander in prison and delivered himself and ultimately the large countryside out of famine. So we use our imagination to deliver ourselves. We can imagine our desires, goals, and continue to do so, just as he dreamed of his freedom, never giving up, no matter what he went through, until our desire is objectified. The manifestation comes, and our prayers are answered. So how do we personally use this story? And the Bible can be history, poetry, entertainment, but we want to use it to find inspiration and direction on how to be successful in our lives, successful at expressing God at high levels in every area of our lives. That means we dream big and aim to succeed. We live a healthy life, never giving up on goals, living a dream of strength and abilities to participate, contribute, and help others as we enjoy all that life offers. The lessons are here metaphysically. We want to be like Joseph and become a practical dreamer. We decide to make our dreams come true. We open our minds to our dreams and all possibilities. Our mind must be like a parachute. If it doesn't open, it isn't doing any good. We may review our thoughts, dreams, and beliefs and look for the new and refreshing ideas, recreating and refining our goals. First, we withdraw and remove our attention from appearances of things and from sense evidence. Even though our senses may deny what we pray for, affirm that our goal is true in our hearts. We rise above appearances, discord, and sensory evidence to know the principles of harmony and laws governing all things, knowing there is an everlasting law of righteousness, good, love, and peace behind all things. This unchanging principle is underlying the work and the development for a vaccine. See, underneath all of the details of the people working together and talking and all that is the principle that this is coming about, the healing. Then we bring our minds back from wandering after any false gods of fear and doubt to rest in the omnipotence of the spiritual power within us. In the silence of our own minds, we dwell on the fact that there's only one power, one presence, always reminding ourselves. This power and presence is now responding to our thoughts as guidance, strength, peace, and nourishment for our souls. We give all our mental attention to recognizing the absolute sovereignty of the spiritual power. We are bowing down to Joseph imagination, creativity, and the power, knowing that God power has all the answers and is now showing us the way. We trust it. We believe it. We accept that our prayers are answered. And then at this point, we say our thanks, and we accept the dream and all the responsibilities that a dream brings. So now we go forth and dream big.
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life. Love your dreams, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out, just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes the deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
Oh, I just can't tell you how glad I am to have music back in our service. Okay, now, if you will take in your hands any offerings you have, we're going to bless all that we have to give and think we give time, we give effort, we give love, we give energy, we give prayers, and we give our monetary goods. So let's say together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so it is. And if you want to mail in your donations, the address here is 2467 Veneman Avenue, and the zip is 95356. We're in Modesto. You don't have Modesto. And now we're going to sing the peace song. And you can sing it at home. You can stand up and stretch your arms out and just use your imagination, and we're all holding hands, okay? Okay.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now the prayer of protection.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.